So Paddy Donovan returns to the ring at welterweight in an IBF World Title Eliminator against Chukhadzhian. I'm not going to be saying his full name throughout this video. I'm just going to refer to him as Jaron from here on out. But of course, you probably recognise that name because he fought Boots twice. And he gave Boots two decisions, two tricky enough fights. At no point was I thinking, well, Jaron may win this one. No. He gave Boots problems at times, but ultimately Boots was never not in control in any part of those fights, in my opinion, even when... and Jaron only made those fights difficult because he was hard to hit. Not because he was going in there and tearing Boots a new one. Nothing like that. And Paddy Donovan, of course, you know him from his two fights against Lewis Crocker. First, the one being a disqualification, and then the rematch for the vacant IBF World Title in a fight where, in my opinion, Paddy Donovan should have won. He lost a split decision after being dropped twice in that fight, once in the third, once in the fifth round. But outside of those two times he was dropped, in my opinion, he comfortably outboxed Lewis Crocker. So it really just depends on how the referees wanted to judge those knockdowns and how significant they are in the overall scoring. And clearly they judged them at a point, Lewis Crocker was going to win that fight, unfortunately. But I do think Paddy Donovan deserved to win that fight. He comes back in his first fight since then, to fight Jaron. And it's, like I said, it's a title eliminator, and the winner of this fight will face the winner of Crocker v Liam Parrow for the IBF World Championship. And I'll make a separate video about that. But this fight here, I do think Paddy's going to win this, because I think Paddy's a good boxer. I think, again, neither guy's really fought guys at super high levels and beat them. Like, the biggest names on their resumes are guys that they've lost to. So it's that level of fight. That sort of top 5 fringe world level, right? And that's definitely where they are in the welterweight division, in my opinion. These aren't the top elite welterweights, because I don't think these guys could fight for a belt under any other governing body and win, right? So I don't think Jaron beats any of the other world champions. Jaron doesn't beat Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero, or Devin Haney. Same with Paddy Donovan as well. Devin Haney's a better boxer than Devin Haney. Devin Haney's a better boxer than Paddy Donovan. Rolly Romero, if Lewis Crocker's too physical for you, Rolly Romero is definitely going to be too physical for you. He's got a chance against Ryan Garcia because everyone's got a chance against Ryan Garcia because he's just so one-dimensional. But yeah, that's where we're at. But I do think Paddy Donovan is a good boxer. I think he's slick. He moves well. He's trained by Andy Lee. He's got that gypsy base. And again, like I say to Evan, being a gypsy is one of the best bases for boxing, particularly in British boxing. If you can be a gypsy and you're fighting at these shows from like 5-6 years old, and you've come up through the amateur route, and you've done the hard yards. You're gonna be a well-schooled boxer, like the likes of Billy Joe Saunders, Tyson Fury, Paddy Donovan, these guys. Great world-level boxers. I do think it's going to be too much for Jaron. I think if Jaron fights Boots, if he fights Paddy Donovan like he fought Boots, probably the same thing happens. I guess Boots has got far more dynamic offense than Paddy Donovan, so you almost can't even compare it in that sense. But if Jaron goes out there not really trying to fight, when you fight like that, you're basically giving the fight to the other person, because if you're not giving the judges anything to score you off, then they're not going to. And I do think Paddy Donovan, even though, again, he's not as offensively dynamic as Boots, he's still got something there. He's still a bit slick. He's still got a bit of flair, a bit of character, a bit of pizzazz. He's definitely got that about him. And that was very clear, even from the Lewis Crocker fights, that was clear. Defensively, he has got some gaps, though. And Jaron will be looking to, take advantage of that. He's going to need to. If he's got any chance at winning this fight, he's going to need to take advantage of some of Paddy Donovan's gaps defensively. And these are gaps that, the likes of Lewis Crocker have sort of exposed in a way. Even though I think Paddy Donovan outboxed Lewis Crocker did drop him twice. Dropped him in the third and in the fifth round. And did hurt him, I think, around the 10th. I want to say he hurt him again as well. And that's where you back him up and he keeps his chin up and you catch him on the chin. It's basically it. If you can force him into a situation and force him into a corner against the ropes and unload on him, you've got a chance of landing something significant. And Cameron's going to want to sit down on those shots when he gets those opportunities, if he's got any chance of winning this fight. So yeah, there's paths to victory for both guys. I'm going to be picking Paddy Donovan. But again, a Cameron victory wouldn't surprise me, because Paddy Donovan does have some defensive, vulnerabilities, I'll say. But yeah, another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest. Again, this fight's coming up this weekend. Let me know what you guys think of it. Who do you think is going to win? Do you think Cameron's going to win this and go on to the IBF title fight? Or do you think Paddy Donovan's got it in the bag? Let me know in the comments below. Another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.